Hi, and thank you very much for joining me today. Our topic is I'm going to help teach you and show you three ways in which women can make additional income and lifelong security. These days, since 2020, life has been pretty unsure. And sometimes the amount of time that which we have spent with a particular company seems to be shorter and shorter because they are cutting corners more and more. So what can we do? So Tempest Fusion, as I stated, yep, time is flying by. And with that, with wherever we're at, wherever we want to be, we want our efforts to be appreciated, right? We want our time to be appreciated. We want our energy to be appreciated with wherever we are, whatever company we're in, whether it's for ourselves or for a different company that we're working for. We want to be able to reap our own investments of investing our time that's being taken away from our families and our friends and things that we enjoy. And we want to believe that we want to depend on our company to always be there backing us, the same as we've backed them, right? For many of years and for the many amount of efforts that we have given them. So, in truth, what we build for our future, our finances, or our family builds our character and makes us who we are, right? So if we're in a bad company, if we don't like our job, we're going to be miserable, right? So yet how we build is a choice. Who do you want to be? So that's the biggest question here. Who do you want to be? What do you want to be like? What kind of life do you like to live? You want to pick the right company that you know is going to be there for you, it's going to support you, and is also in alignment with your values. So I've been working with a lot of women for, decades, and you'll learn more about that in a bit. But what I have learned is we all want our own thing, right? We don't want to depend upon somebody else being able to fix things for us. We want to know that we can do it ourselves. We want our own security, but ultimately we want to feel and be empowered. I mean, who doesn't want to be Wonder Woman? Well, maybe you don't, but that image, right, is so powerful, and I personally love it. So, who is this video or who is this, presentation for? Well, if you're sick of that financial rug that's constantly being pulled out from underneath you one too many times, yeah, you might be interested in hanging around to the end. It's also for the person if you're looking for something more, right? Like if you're just not feeling fulfilled in where you are, something that speaks to you, speaks to your heart, trying to look for a company that actually seems to actually have a soul. That seems to be rather challenging these days. And perhaps maybe you're making really good money, but your future with the company you're at is pretty uncertain and you're looking for more security. So, another reasons could be you're freaked out about business changes. Your assets are being threatened and your future is uncertain, kind of like what I just said in the previous slide. And maybe you're in a panic about your finances. You know, the stock these days have been doing some funky things. Everything's changing in our world. Or maybe you're looking for a place to land with a company that has a proven track record. I know I'll go anywhere as long as it's forward, right? We don't want to stay stagnant. We don't want to go backwards. We don't want to lose our position or our financial gains that we have made. So, with this particular presentation, I have a promise to you that I will share with you how you can receive the support that you're desiring, how you can grow your assets, how you can get caught up, sorry, financially without getting another job. Boy, I can't imagine getting a job, a 9 to 5 or job or a job working with corporate. No, thank you. I want to have my freedom. But I will say that I promise you, I'm not going to offer you pie in the sky, money making quick deals, or going back to school. I'm too old for that. So let's get real. So this is reality. So let's look at reality. What is reality? What's really going on in our life? So, a lot of people are going through relationship changes since the last 4 years because our life has been so compressed and squeezed from external forces in our world. Our world is changing. Our careers are being outsourced. Due to our recession, we have lost, half our assets. I've lost more than half my assets. You perhaps still have looming school loans, and due to the crazy economy, it's hard to figure out where to go, what to do, and what to invest in. And maybe you don't have any extra funds to get ahead, or your oh shit fund is gone. Are you renting versus not owning, and you really desire to own, or maybe you own and might be getting tight to make those um, payments, or you really prefer a second house, in a different place so your family can enjoy different areas within the country or the world. And unfortunately, companies are closing or they're restructuring. And man, is that really throwing people in a tailspin. It's really challenging to be surprised with that sort of information. Well, you may be asking yourself, well, what am I doing with my life? Is your budget so tight that you just can't even cut it by even a dollar? I've been there. That you don't want to take your family on cheap vacations that aren't memorable. You want those memorable vacations. I mean, who would love to take their kids? I took my kids a couple years ago down to Florida to Orlando Studios, and oh my Lord, they still talk about it today, and that was 3 years ago. You want to have a real security with the company that you are in and that you're aligned with. And you want to grow financially and not plateau, right? We don't be stagnant. We want to consistently grow and grow, not only personally, mentally, emotionally, but also financially. So, what are you waiting for? Let's dig that well before you have no water. So, currently, are you feeling trapped with no seeable way out? Do you feel like you are growing with your company, or maybe it has restructured? That may feel quite confining. I know it would be. So the big problem here is, again, going back to bigger problems, that our time is ticking. Like I said in the beginning, tempus fugit. And every day you are getting closer to retirement. Friends are getting sick and or leaving this experience. They're dying of cancer, heart disease, natural disease, and you can no longer rely on, I've got plenty of time. We just don't know. And while it's no big deal once we're gone, who's to care whether we have, made a good amount of funds or not? What's important is that we have provided for our family and we've left a legacy behind for our children. The bigger problem, though, is our government really doesn't have the ability nor the financial ability to take care of us either. With the increase in cost of living, and Social Security may not be able to support you, even if Social Security is still a thing when you get to 65. So I don't want you to panic though, but you may feel like you're panicking, right? With the world, with your position in your company, whatever it may be, is your stomach flipping about your retirement? Oh dear Lord, how am I going to make this work? Can your emergency fund take care of you with months without worry? Do you have bills, extra money to pay your bills for the next several months? Are you wanting to provide security for your team, your coworkers, or for your employees, whatever it may be? I know that when I was speaking with a friend of mine, she just recently had her company restructure, and she's like, we're not making nearly the amount of money. So she wanted to find a nice home for herself and her team to provide financial security. So who am I? Hi there, everybody. My name is Wendy Morgan. My education and degrees are all within the health and healing field. Back in 2008, I herniated my back, which ended my career in physical therapy. I needed to find a financial stable solution for myself and my daughter. I just had a new daughter in 2005, and I wanted to continue to working with people in their earthly journey. It took some time, but I finally found what I was looking for, and I had to learn a new way to communicate for myself in a new industry. Yet with all that, I landed a position in being my own boss, making six figures, and found my home within a company that really had a heart focused on healing people and therefore the world. So the Gen X effect. I don't know if you've heard this, but if you were part of the Gen X or anywhere around there, you might agree, we've made it and we've lost it and we started over again, but we reinvented ourselves. Hey, all because we are resourceful. Yes, we are. And I don't really care if you're Gen X or I don't any of the other generations, I believe this can apply to everybody. How many times have we made it, lost it, started over, reinvented ourselves, and then we pick our shoes back up again, pick our boots up, throw the straps on, go, we're going to do this again because we are resourceful. And now's the time to do what we really want to do. Now, this very time in the late 2020s, this is the time, guys, because we've been, the coal has been squeezed through the past 4 years and the diamond's about to burst out, and that's you. So let's see what we can do. So we all want to feel financial safe and secure, and that's the point of this presentation. So how can you make up for blank? How can you make up for your time that you've lost, perhaps with a company that you've been stagnant? How can you make up for the money that you perhaps lost during this time? How can you make up for feeling stressed and, putting the pedal to the metal even harder because you think if I put more time in, then I'll make more money and I'm getting, but that is now, how can you make up more time and losing the time that I have not spent with my family and my children, et cetera, et cetera. We can all have plenty of things to fill in this particular line. For me, after getting hit by two recessions, and closing my private practice, so I was a holistic healthcare practitioner for, gosh, over 40 years. I also then ruptured my disc in that physical therapy job, and I became a single parent at 40, which I shared with you. So I had a lot of things to fill in that blank, right? I wish I had more time, or I wish I could make up for, you know, my finances, my practice, my patience, and how am I going to raise this child on my own being injured? And I know throughout my 20s and 30s, I don't know about you, but I always thought, I'm going to win that lotto. Wow, were we naive? So I realized that only I can rebuild and secure my own finances. So, first of all, I learned that there are two types of income. Only one that interested me, however. One is active income. We all know this. There are wages, trading time for money, basically, having that corporate job or having that 9 to 5 job or even working your own business, right? That's trading your time for money. The second type is leveraged or passive income. This one speaks to me. So that requires an initial investment of time, money, and or effort to earn the initial money, and then it falls into little time or effort to maintain it. That sounds good to me. So three ways that I experienced to make money. I'm going to share with you the pros and the cons, and the now and the later. First of all, brick and mortar. I did it. Yep, I had to do it. I think any entrepreneur, you feel like it's important to, start your own business. I invested $65,000. It actually probably is way more than that, but I'm going to say it's anywhere between 65 and 100 some thousand dollars. I ordered a holistic skincare business that I created from scratch. I did the packaging, the labeling, the marketing, the whole 9 yards. And my market was that of spas, and it was really nice. My place in which I created smelled so good, my commercial kitchen, and it was wonderful. But there's a lot of buts. So here's the pros of a brick and mortar, right? You can be financially independent, it's very flexible. You have control of all of the decisions, and you have a direct impact to who you want to impact and what you want to impact them with. Obviously, as job security because you're the boss, and you can build your own personal brand, which can be very forthright and empowering. However, there's a slew of cons. And it turned out for me, those cons overweighed the pros in the end. So, possible income instability, absolutely. There was weeks where there was no orders, and then there was a week where every order came in and I was swamped and overstressed. Potentially, there's a financial risk. You could put a lot of money in and not reap the same amount of money back. And that's very, very common. I did the same thing. I don't think I got that same amount of money back that I definitely lost in that particular business. You also have some uncertainty, definitely working long hours, and you have nobody guiding you as to what to do. Otherwise, you're doing a lot of research or maybe going back to school, one of which I did not want to do. I already had the education of being a aromatherapist. So I figured I had what I needed, but it was a lot of work. Emotionally and physically tiring. I already mentioned stress. Overhead is crazy, right? I had to have a storage where I stored all my product, where I stored all the ingredients, where I stored all the packaging that I was involved with, and it was very expensive. A second is affiliated marketing. So I don't know if you're familiar with this. Um, I Affiliated marketing is like with Amazon, or even with TikTok or Pinterest or eBay. There's a lot of places at which you can get affiliated marketing. So affiliate marketing, the pros are basically you choose your niche, what you want to do, you promote and you of the chosen products. You do have the ability to track and optimize, and you can have the ability to get high income. There is low cost because there is no storage fees. It's coming directly from the company, whatever product you're trying to sell. And you don't really have to have an expertise, and you can choose your hours in which you're about to work. However, the cons. You do have to build your own online platform. You don't have control of the competition, right? There's a lot of affiliate marketers out there, and they might be trying to sell the same mascara, right? 1,000, 2,000 people selling the same mascara, 100 people selling the same couch on Amazon, etc. You can't establish a customer base. You're just, it's a touch and go, good luck sort of thing. And there's no guarantee of revenue. Working with a lot of Me Too products. In fact, a majority are all Me Too products. Me Too products, I'm sure you know, but basically, I have that product. So do I. Me too. It is also possible to get your affiliate links hijacked. A friend of mine unfortunately did that, and she lost so much. It was so sad. And you don't have control over the rules. Some particular um, affiliates have specific rules and how you can sell something, what you need to say. Some people don't even have anything you to say. You have to kind of make it all up as well. So that's a little bit challenging. The third one I want to look at is multi-level marketing. So multi-level marketing, they have a lot of pros here. Pros are complete control of how you contact your customer. You have a personal business. This is yours. You can control who you're going to talk to. You can choose what market you're going to talk to. You can actually target a market, which is kind of nice. You can also track your impact, which is again really nice, especially if you're doing on Facebook. You can definitely track your Facebook. Sorry, you can track your impact. It is also cost efficiency. A lot of the marketing, multi-level marketing companies, you don't have to come in with a high buy. And some of them you actually don't have to even purchase your own website, which is nice. You can get solid leadership. You are capable of making extremely high income and specific product information in which the company, so you get specific product information. It's already given to you, tells you all about it. You get training on it most likely from the company, and the company fills the product and they ship the product out. Again, you're not touching the product. All these little steps are completely no longer in your hands or in the hands of the company. So that's a lot more free time. Also allows you to take the personal approach to the person. How can this product help you fix this problem that you have? You can also choose your hours. You also can find a place to build a business with a company that has a track record. So when it comes to multi-level marketing, what I highly recommend, if you ever look into this, literally look at their track record. How long have they been around? Are they on the NASDAQ? Are they privately owned? Do they have patented products? Do they have studies? Do they have peer-reviewed studies behind them, et cetera, et cetera? Literally look at their track record. That's so important. The cons, however, of multi-level marketing is, you can if you just, put an ad out there, it can target people who have absolutely no interest. Of course, a lot of people who are going to click on your Facebook ads or going to click on your YouTube videos or your TikTok posts, everyone ticks on them, absolutely. But it might be people that not necessarily are going to buy from you. And sometimes, depending on how you do it, which I think that this can easily be avoided, but it can be perceived as spamming. I know a lot of multi-level marketing companies that do via a lot on email, and it's just spamming, or even just Facebook Messenger text that can be considered spamming too. You may have some upline conflicts that really could bite, poor compensation program. Again, like I said, you have to really look into a company to check all these things out, know the people, know your compensation. You may have to sometimes pay for your own website with the company. You need to consistently create new lists of people. That's kind of like the same with any multi-level marketing. You need to know, who am I going to address, what marketing am I going to connect with, to see if this is right by them, et cetera. And a lot of times, the legal regulations change within the industry itself or with the actual products that you're promoting. So therefore, how you promote them, those rules may change. And so you have to stay on top of those. And sometimes with a lot of multi-level marketing products, there's a lot of Me Too products. I can think of 3, 4 companies right offhand that I can go to my local health food store and pick up the same product. So what's the point of me buying from them, right? And of course, the last and not least, because that is the most challenging, the most detrimenting, which is company restructuring. And just this past year, and right now I'm making this recording in the latter part of 2024, I've known F6 companies that have either restructured, closed down, or have gone to just pure sales. So it's just really sad what they're doing to my friends who've been working for them. So I want to share with you a business that checked all my boxes. And this is why, in essence, I'm kind of sharing with you to see if you're interested, because I chose direct marketing because it was the fastest, most direct way to achieve what I wanted. So I'm going to share, interject a little story here. So back in 2000, before I jumped into a direct marketing company, um, I was literally in poverty, living in poverty levels. You wouldn't know it. I looked fine. My kids were fed well, et cetera, et cetera. But I was definitely in poverty levels. And in the 4 years that I chose this direct marketing company, I am making over 6 figures. So that is a testament to this particular business model. My time is completely flexible. Little startup fee, absolutely. I have loads of support in growing my business. The team that I work with, we have a business site that supports everything and anything you want with support your business, the brochures, your um, business cards, if that's what you choose, some testimonies, the whole 9 yards. It is just amazing. Um, and I directly help people. I go out, I talk with them. I love making relationships. I love being there to support people. And that goes, quick pro quo, hand in hand. I love working with like-minded people. My whole entire team that I'm with, and the company that I'm with, especially the head of the company that the person has created, he is, I want to heal people, so therefore we can heal this world. We need to give people better opportunities, not only physically, mentally, emotionally, but also financially. So that is definitely in alignment with my particular mission. I love traveling to new places. I didn't know that I did until I traveled this past year. You're going to see some pictures here in a minute. And we traveled to Greece. And I haven't been traveling a long time. And I will say I was rather trepidatious. I had a blast, so much of a blast. I realized I need to travel more because I'm happier. And also you can earn lots of money even when you're not actively working. So just a kind of little disclaimer, or little insight here, is that last year, actually from last October all the way through till September of this year, no, yeah, September of this year, I did not actively work, and I consistently made money, and that's what I just love. So here's some pictures of our trip. So this is just, oh, we had such a good time. So you can see in the middle top picture, that's myself and my youngest daughter who came with me, and talk about a trip of a lifetime. She told me the other day, she goes, Mom, I realize how I want to travel. Cruising is the way I want to go. It's just like, okay, I'm glad you figured that one out. So in the upper two left-hand corners, you will see these are both from Mykonos. Mykonos was one of my most favorite islands that we visited. It was so fantastic. We did go other places, and these are kind of out of order. But the one in the upper left, I take that back. The ones on the upper left are the Mykonos pictures. I'm a little dyslexic here. The one on the right, that is from Switzerland. And I do believe that was from Zurich. No, no, it wasn't from Zurich. Um, I think it was Lucerne. That was from Lucerne. And then we have like a little yummy plate here of an apple streusel that was also from the area of Lucerne. And then, of course, down on the lower left-hand corner, that was from Athens, where we went to the Parthenon. And then there's my daughter, myself, and all these other pictures are some of my teammates. They are now all family. That's how close we are. There's not one personality that's in conflict with another. Here on the upper left, we have Santori, and this is my dear friend Stacy and my daughter again. And then the upper right is myself and David uh and her name is just basically passing me up. That's crazy. Um, Sally, there we go. David and Sally. And here we are in the boat having a great time with some drinks in the hot tub. And then as you see down lower, there's again thing from Mykonos and some pictures from Switzerland and a boat picture. And myself and my daughter as we were on the boat heading onto the islands. It was so much fun. So you might be thinking, really? Really? So what you might be thinking, honestly, is wait, I've been on this rodeo and I was left high and dry. And if you are one of those people who were part of the restructuring or the closing of the company, I am so sorry. That should not happen to anyone. You should always be rewarded for your efforts. Second thing, you might be thinking, do I really want to do this again? But if you're like me, you love this industry. You just love to reach out to people. You love communicating. You love connecting. It just makes your families getting bigger and bigger. And ultimately, though, you do want a company that is secure so that you can do what you love to do. Because security is the new sexy. So why do some companies fold? So this is a great question, and this also comes to folding or restructuring. So again, because too many companies have too many Me Too products, Me Too markets like fingernail stickers, facial creams, the new exotic miracle cure for your skin, but there's no patents behind them. There's no studies. There's no new unique products as such. Perhaps it's also because there's a poor culture. They're a number-driven company. I was definitely with a multi-level marketing like that. They're like, okay, it's Friday, get those numbers in. Come on, get a move on. And it's like, wow, whatever happened to the heart? How are you guys doing? How can we serve you? How can we make you feel more secure and want to, grow your businesses greater? None of that ever came across in that particular company. Companies perhaps that don't have the long-term mission in mind, they just want to quickly jump out. They've got this great idea. There's a company, again, another multi-level company that I joined up with several years ago, and they wanted to start up, right? You put the money in because they've got this great, fantastic product. Here's all the results. And I didn't put very much money in. I just put the base amount in, but sure enough, within I think it was like 7 or 8 months of them opening, they completely closed down. So they just came in to make all of the pre-startups, and they didn't have the long-term mission at all. Or perhaps they don't have any new product development, in line. They're just kind of really sitting on the old thing and hoping that, even though it's a good thing, but hoping that's going to basically keep them going forever. Or maybe they just don't provide business support, business training. What can we do to help you? I mean, there's many different layers as to why a person is not really successful in their particular business. Could it be, mental block, a personal development issue, I'm not worthy issue, et cetera, et cetera. Those things need to be addressed by a company. Or maybe it's a younger company that just folded due to poor money management. Or maybe the company that wants to profit more, so therefore they choose to restructure and go straight to sales. So my success has actually a proven formula. And I would love to go and say that I could own this, but I can't. But I definitely have been trained it and I fold it on to be remodeled to others. It's a simple training system. You have plenty of business support, like I went ahead and alluded to earlier. Lots of testimony podcasts. We have proven leadership that is there. I'm talking to the leader that is literally at the very top of the company. They do not hold themselves so high on that pedestal that they can't talk to me. It is so amazing. They just have such great heart. Also, proven and patented technology. So if you have proven and patented technology, it means no one else can touch it. You have a unique product. So is this right for you? So a lot of companies do fail because they were set up to do so probably unknowingly, but you want to find one that wasn't set up that way, that had that long-term mission in mind, that is constantly creating new products, that all their products are patented and proven, and you have strong leadership. So creating a six-figure income without getting another job is possible. However, ask yourself, can you figure it all out by yourself? Do you want to figure it out by yourself and lose more time and money in doing so? Or would you like to receive help from someone who's paid the price before you and who can fast track you? And that's something I can help you with. So you have a choice. You have a choice to open a door, to take that new step, to walk through and over that threshold of, I'm going to check things out. I'm going to see if this is for me. You have a choice. You always have a choice. Or you can stay where you currently are. It's all up to you. How can I help? Well, honestly, guys, I've set aside time for you next week to speak to you personally about your current opportunity versus staying stuck the rest of your life. So I'm also a personal development coach. And so I really like to dig in to help people where you are, what's going on, what's your hang up? Is it that the hang up's inside of you, or is the hang up with the company you're with? What is it? We really need to go ahead and look at that. And that first appointment is absolutely free for you. I just want to help you out and get you moving forward. So what do you need to do? If you're interested, well, you must be committed to shaking things up in your life, to making big changes. If you're already involved in a company, are you ready to make that move with your whole team? Are you already in your more brick and mortar? Maybe you want to move into a different company and bring the rest of your employees on to help them, share that load of success with them as well. You must be willing to invest in you. So in order to move along the journey and be successful, we all need to go ahead and work on our personal development. That's a plus, right? It all starts within. Therefore, whatever energy you have within you, you are going to reflect it out, and that reflection is going to come back to you. So we need to invest in you as well. We must be serious about doing it the right way. I know the first MLM company, I was like, I can do it. I know exactly how it's done. Everybody likes me. I have a degree. They're going to listen to me. I can do this. And boy, was I wrong. I was very wrong. So I had to just pretend like that when I got into direct marketing, I didn't know anything and I listened to everything and I became successful pretty quickly. So we're not jumping from, and I want to make sure you're not jumping from a get rich quick gimmick to gimmick, looking for the next big thing. I know there's a friend of a friend. She just literally jumps from one company to another company. It goes in, makes all the money, gets out, takes her whole team, and goes to the next place. Not really quite sure why, but whatever. Or you must also be willing to get your feet moving. I mean, anyone who's been in multi-level marketing, direct marketing, it's you've got to, hit the pavement, whether it's, your fingertips on the keyboard or whether literally it's your feet on the pavement. We do need to get our feet moving. Okay. So in staying where you are, what about doing nothing? What about I just don't know, this is not the right time. What is it costing you? Is it costing your sanity to stay where you are? Is your marriage, your partnership suffering? I know that when I was in poverty, my survival bubble was very, very tight. I didn't want to go very many places. I didn't want to have very many friendships. Whenever I was asked out by my friends, I didn't want to go because I didn't have the money. Um, and and my relationships definitely suffered. Do you want to travel more? You're not going to be able to travel more by keeping status quo, right? Are you able to decrease your debt currently? I'm just so happy I'm finally getting out of debt. Makes me feel so good. Are your kids growing up without you being there? That to me is the biggest highlight, right? The kids, we don't want society and school to be raising our children. We want to be raising our children. And I was very fortunate that I pulled my child out of public school and put her into I I homeschooled her, and it was the best decision I've ever made. And she is an amazing young woman. Do you have the ability to live anywhere you choose right now? Anywhere. And I know I want to get there, and I'm on my way to doing that. How much will it cost you and your family if you were in the same place 10 years from now? Oof, that would be a painful thing to think about and to actually feel. So just imagine that being the same place 10 years from now. And the only way we're going to change it is to do something different now. So, how much longer are you going to wait to step into the secure life that you want? So, here's another reality check. So, the average lifespan here in America is roughly 79 years of age. Where are you in relation to this? Remember, tempest fugit, time flies. If we don't fix this, you d- if you don't fix this, you only have one shot, and that shot is right now, right? Um, I know that I'm within 20 years literally of that number. And man, I'm going to make the most. I'm going to push like I've never pushed in my past. So you can rise up and succeed. So let's lay out a plan for you so that you can be the girl in charge of your time and your bank account. Rise out of the ashes for good and finally succeed to getting the results that you need in your life right now. So, what is it we do now? Take the next step. Let's create some momentum. Click that button next to this video and let's get it scheduled that time that which we can talk and I can share with you what possibilities that I have to see if that is the right thing for you and it fits for your ideals and your beliefs and your mission. And if everything fits with you, then we're good to go. And I love to hold hands with you and move forward and get to know you in the future. Take care.